Do these 5 things every morning to transform your life forever. Let me ask you something. What if the reason your life isn't changing is simply because of how you start your morning? Not your education, not your money, not even your talent. Just the first hour of your day. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they start every morning in survival mode, scrolling, rushing, complaining, reacting. You can't build a powerful life with a powerless morning. In this video, I'm going to share 5 simple but powerful things you must do every morning to transform your focus, your mindset, and your future. The last one is the hardest, but it's the one that will separate the serious from the stuck. So don't just watch this. Apply it. Because the next version of you is built in the morning. Your morning determines your momentum. If you lose the first hour, you spend the rest of the day catching up. There's a reason the first hour of your morning feels different from the rest of your day. It's because it is different. That early moment when you rise is when your mind is most clear, your emotions are least affected by outside noise, and your power to choose who you want to be is at its strongest. What you do in that first hour isn't just a routine, it's a statement. A statement about your priorities, your discipline, and your direction. Think about this. When you wake up and immediately check your phone, you're not starting your day. You're letting someone else start it for you. You're entering someone else's urgency, someone else's agenda, someone else's chaos. And once you've let that energy in, it's hard to reclaim your own. That's why so many people feel behind, frustrated, and overwhelmed before they've even had breakfast. The first hour of your day acts like a compass. It points you either toward clarity or confusion, power or passivity, momentum or misery. And the truth is, most people are sleepwalking through their mornings. They don't rise, they drift. They don't build intention, they scramble in reaction. And that's why even though they're busy all day, they feel like nothing meaningful gets done. When you lose the first hour of your day, it's not just time you lose, it's momentum. You spend the rest of the day trying to recover from the energy, mindset, and focus you never created in the first place. And recovery mode is exhausting. It drains you, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, because deep down, you know you didn't start your day with power. You started it with compromise. But here's the good news. Momentum can be created, and it starts the moment you open your eyes. When you wake up and make the decision to lead your morning instead of follow it, you begin to build something most people only chase. Personal power. That power shows up in how you speak to yourself. It shows up in how you keep the promises you make to yourself. Like getting up when you said you would. It shows up in how you spend those first quiet moments. Not in distraction, but in direction. You see, people often look for motivation. They say, I just don't feel motivated in the morning. But motivation is a byproduct of action. You don't need motivation to move. You need movement to create motivation. And when you start your morning with action, with intention, and with purpose, something shifts inside of you. You begin to feel in control. You begin to believe again that your life is in your hands. And that belief, that's the beginning of momentum. Momentum isn't built through grand achievements. It's built through small wins that stack on top of each other until they become unshakable confidence. And those wins start right when you wake up. Waking up without snoozing, drinking water, breathing deeply, saying something positive out loud, moving your body. These aren't just habits, they're declarations. I am in charge of how this day begins. If you don't lead your morning will lead you. And if your morning leads you into stress, distraction, or negativity, don't be surprised when the rest of your day follows. That's why the most successful, grounded, and focused people protect their mornings like sacred ground. Because they know a strong morning doesn't guarantee a perfect day, but it gives them the clarity, energy, and confidence to handle whatever the day throws at them. Your day doesn't start at 9 a.m. when the world shows up. It starts when you do. The version of you that's focused, grounded, disciplined, and driven. That version is built in the first hour of the morning. Don't waste it. Don't hand it over to distractions. Use it to remind yourself who you are and who you're becoming. So if you've been feeling stuck, unmotivated, or behind in life, don't try to fix the whole day. Just fix the first hour. Get that right and watch the momentum carry you forward into a life that finally feels aligned with your purpose. Transformation isn't dramatic, it's disciplined. Real life change happens in the small things you do daily, not the big things you do occasionally. We live in a world obsessed with big moments. The grand success, the dramatic change, the before and after stories. But the truth is, transformation is not what happens in a single breakthrough. It's what happens in consistent behavior. It's not about what you do once in a while when you feel inspired. It's about what you do every single day when no one's watching, when there's no applause, when it's boring, when it's inconvenient. That's where real change begins. Not in intensity, but in consistency. You can attend the best seminar in the world, read the most powerful book, or feel an emotional high after watching an inspiring video. And yet, if you don't take that inspiration and translate it into disciplined daily action, nothing will change. The motivation will fade. The emotion will pass. But discipline, that sticks. Discipline doesn't depend on how you feel. It depends on what you decide. Most people want change to feel exciting. But growth is not exciting. Growth is repetitive. It's quiet. It's waking up early to stretch when your body still wants rest. It's reading those few pages when your mind wants entertainment. It's choosing water over sugar, truth over comfort, vision over impulse. That's where the work gets done. Not on the stage, but in the silence. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadow. Think about it. A single workout doesn't transform your body. A single meditation doesn't give you inner peace. One journal entry won't make you emotionally stable. One act of kindness doesn't make you a new person. But the repetition of those acts over time, that's how your identity begins to shift. That's how transformation becomes permanent. Not because you had one big moment of inspiration, but because you created a pattern of becoming. Discipline is the architecture of transformation. It builds the frame that holds your life together. Without it, you'll fall back into old patterns the moment life gets hard. And life will get hard. That's guaranteed. But the people who keep rising, who keep growing, who keep evolving, they're not stronger than you. They're not luckier than you. They're just more consistent. They made a decision to show up even when they didn't feel like it. They built habits that supported the future they wanted, not the comfort they craved. They understood that a successful life isn't made from what you do sometimes, it's made from what you do every day. And the best part, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to get it right every single time, you just need to keep showing up. It's easy to wait for the right time, for the right mood, for the perfect circumstances. But there's no such thing. You will never feel ready every morning. That's why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation whispers when you feel like it. Discipline commands now. And if you can obey the voice of discipline long enough, you'll look back one day and realize you became what you once only dreamed of. Because transformation doesn't announce itself. It happens slowly, quietly, while you're just doing the work. One day you wake up and realize you're no longer triggered by what used to break you. You're no longer making excuses for what you used to avoid. You've become stronger, calmer, wiser, Not because of one big decision, but because of 1,000 small ones stacked together. So stop looking for the dramatic breakthrough. Start becoming someone different through disciplined action. Make your bed. Read the chapter. Say no when it's easier to say yes. Go for the walk. Keep the promise you made to yourself. And when no one notices, keep going. When it feels slow, keep going. When it feels like nothing's happening, especially then, keep going. Because that's where real transformation is born. Not in the noise, but in the quiet. Not in the hype, but in the habit. You don't need a miracle, you need a rhythm. You need daily disciplines that align with your future. If you build those and you commit to them, your life will begin to transform right before your eyes. Quietly, steadily, and permanently. Your thoughts shape your reality. Start your mornings by feeding your mind what you want your life to look like. Every single day, the first thoughts you allow into your mind begin to shape how you see the world, and more importantly, how you see yourself. Most people don't realize the power of that. They wake up and immediately allow chaos into their mental space, checking their phones, reading bad news, scrolling through other people's lives. And then they wonder why they feel overwhelmed, anxious, and unmotivated before the day even begins. It's because they've already programmed their mind to feel scattered. They've already chosen to focus on what's outside instead of what's inside. Your morning thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you plant, you grow. If you plant doubt, you'll grow hesitation. If you plant gratitude, you'll grow peace. If you plant vision, you'll grow clarity. That's why the first few minutes of your day matter more than most people think. Your mind is most impressionable in the morning. What you focus on first becomes the foundation of your emotional and mental energy. It's like setting the frequency for your entire day. Think of your mind like a garden. Every thought you allow in is either nourishing or polluting that soil. If you start your morning with intentional, empowering thoughts, you create a space for clarity, strength, and purpose to grow. But if you begin with negativity, distraction, or comparison, you start your day in survival mode. And it's hard to build anything meaningful when you're just trying to make it through. That's why successful people protect their mental space in the morning. They don't start their day by reacting. They start by reflecting. They don't consume junk information. They choose nourishment. Instead of scrolling, they visualize. Instead of noise, they embrace silence. They take charge of their inner world before the outer world gets a chance to influence it. What does that look like in practice? It can be as simple as speaking out loud the life you want to create, saying affirmations with belief, writing down 3 things you're grateful for, reading or listening to something that challenges you to think bigger, asking yourself intentional questions like, who do I want to be today? How do I want to show up? What deserves my energy and what doesn't? These are not complicated practices, but they are powerful ones. Because what you focus on expands. If you keep thinking about your problems, they grow. If you start your day focusing on your potential, that grows. If you start thinking about what you lack, you'll move through the day with scarcity. If you think about what's possible, you'll move through the day with creativity and faith. Your focus creates your filter. It determines what you see and how you interpret everything that happens. This isn't about ignoring your problems or pretending everything's perfect. It's about choosing to start your day from a place of strength instead of stress. It's about training your mind to serve you, not sabotage you. Because if you don't train your mind, the world will do it for you. And the world is full of distractions, fears, and noise that will drown out your vision if you're not intentional. The mind is a tool, and just like any tool, it can build or it can destroy. The difference lies in how you use it. When you start your morning by feeding your mind thoughts of purpose, gratitude, and possibility, you activate your inner compass. You move with direction. You respond instead of react. You lead instead of follow. And slowly but surely, your outer world begins to reflect the inner reality you've been cultivating. If you want to change your life, you have to start with your thoughts. And there is no better time to take control of your thinking than in the morning. When the day is fresh, when the mind is clear, when the energy is still yours to direct. Don't waste those sacred moments. Don't hand them over to distraction, to doubt, or to the opinions of others. Use them, guard them. Let them become the mental soil where your future is planted. Because over time, those intentional thoughts you choose every morning, they become beliefs. Those beliefs shape your decisions shape your habits, and your habits shape your life. It all begins with a thought, so choose wisely what you feed your mind. Your life will follow. How you start determines how you finish. A chaotic morning creates a chaotic life, but a focused morning builds a powerful life. The first hour of your day is not just the beginning of your morning, it's the foundation of your life. The way you start sets the rhythm, the tone, and the energy for everything that follows. Think of your morning as the opening scene of a movie. If that scene is rushed, messy, disorganized, or emotionally scattered, it impacts how the rest of the story unfolds. And too many people are living their lives on repeat, starting every day in chaos, and then wondering why their lives feel out of control. If you wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone, rush through your routine, skip breakfast, drown in noise, and react to everything around you, then you're handing your day over to randomness. You're not leading the day is leading you. And when that becomes your norm, your life becomes a constant reaction. You're no longer building, you're surviving. You're no longer creating. You're just coping. But it doesn't have to be that way. What if you made a decision to take full control of your mornings? What if you stopped starting your days with anxiety and began them with awareness? What if instead of reacting to the world, you began your day by grounding yourself, by reminding yourself of your values, your purpose, your direction? That one shift, the shift from chaos to clarity, could change your entire life. The truth is, powerful lives are not built in big, flashy moments. They are constructed brick by brick through the habits you repeat daily. And nothing is more important than your morning habits. Because your mind is at its most impressionable. Your focus is still yours. Your emotions haven't yet been hijacked by external noise. You have the chance to shape your direction before the world starts pulling you in different directions. It's your opportunity to align your energy with your intentions. Imagine starting your morning with peace instead of panic, with purpose instead of pressure. Imagine being fully present, even for a few quiet moments, reflecting, stretching, journaling, reading, or simply sitting in silence. Those moments are not small, they are powerful. They are the seeds of confidence, clarity, and strength. When you own your morning, you begin to own your identity. You start seeing yourself not just as someone trying to get by, but as someone becoming, someone building something real. It's not about having a perfect routine. It's not about waking up at 5 a.m. like everyone on social media tells you to. It's about having your routine, one that aligns with your values, your goals, and your growth. Even 30 minutes of intentional time in the morning can completely shift your mindset for the day. And when you consistently start your day with intention, what many people don't realize is that your morning is a mirror. It shows you what you truly prioritize. If you consistently choose chaos, distraction, and delay in the morning, those patterns will echo through the rest of your day and eventually your life. But if you choose discipline, clarity, and calm, those values will begin to shape your future in powerful ways. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. It's about asking yourself every morning, what kind of life am I building today? That one question, repeated daily, can change everything. It makes you pause. It brings awareness. And that awareness helps you act with purpose instead of running on autopilot. You don't need more time. You need more clarity in how you use the time you already have, especially in the morning. That first hour is a gift. It's a reset button. It's a chance to plant your mind in strength and gratitude before the storms of the day hit. It's your time to breathe before the noise begins. Because the truth is, your future isn't created by what you do once in a while. It's created by what you do every day. And every day starts in the morning. So if you want to change your life, change your morning. Don't leave it to chance. Don't surrender it to your phone, your inbox, or other people's problems. Guard it, shape it, lead it. Because how you start your day doesn't just influence how you finish the day, it determines how you build your life. Small disciplines done every morning shape your character and your destiny. Consistency in the morning leads to confidence in life. It's easy to underestimate the power of the little things. Most people believe that big change comes from big action. They chase breakthroughs, hoping that one huge moment will shift everything. But in truth, transformation is rarely dramatic. It's quiet. It's subtle. It's found in the simple choices you make every morning when no one is watching. The decision to get up when you don't feel like it. The decision to pray, reflect, stretch, journal, or speak life into your day before the world demands anything from you. These aren't just actions. They're declarations of who you are becoming. Discipline doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be consistent. It's in the decision to take responsibility for your time, to train your mind before it wanders, to move your body before it stiffens, to align your soul before the day pulls you in 100 different directions. Each morning becomes a proving ground, not to the world, but to yourself. Because when you start your day with discipline, you start your day already winning, and that momentum builds. You might think those 15 or 30 minutes of discipline don't matter, but over time they compound. That one small decision you make today becomes easier to make tomorrow. That small act of self-restraint strengthens your identity. Eventually, you stop questioning whether you can be consistent because you've shown yourself that you already are. You don't have to borrow confidence from outside anymore. It starts to rise from within you. And here's what's powerful about this. When you begin the day by keeping a promise to yourself, you start to trust yourself more. That inner trust becomes the foundation for real confidence. Not arrogance, not pretending, but real, unshakable confidence that says, I know who I am. I know what I'm building. I know I'm not perfect, but I'm showing up. That kind of confidence is rare. It can't be bought. It has to be earned through daily action. Small disciplines build that kind of confidence, and the morning is the best place to practice them. Why? Because it's the one part of the day that's most within your control. Before the meetings, the obligations, the calls, the problems, you have a window of ownership, a window where your time is still your own. If you waste that time, the day owns you. But if you use it, you take command of the day. Let's be clear, discipline isn't always easy. Some mornings you'll be tired. Some days you won't feel motivated. But that's the whole point. Discipline is choosing what's right over what's comfortable. And every time you choose growth over ease, you strengthen your character. That's how legacies are built. Not in the spotlight, but in the quiet moments of decision. What you repeat, you become. So if you repeatedly snooze your alarm, avoid your goals, and put off your growth, you're not just delaying your day, you're shaping your destiny. But if you repeatedly show up, even in small ways, you're telling your future, I'm ready, I'm preparing, I'm becoming the person this dream requires. Eventually, those small disciplines spill over into other areas of your life. You begin to carry yourself differently. You handle challenges with more clarity. You set boundaries. You choose wisely. Why? Because your mornings taught you how to lead yourself. And that self-leadership becomes a quiet power that guides you in every room you walk into. So don't overlook the power of small disciplines. Don't wait for perfect conditions or motivation. Just start. Pick one thing, one habit, one action. Do it every morning without fail. Anchor it to who you want to become and let that habit become your foundation. Because the truth is, your life is built in the morning. And those who master their mornings eventually master their lives. Not because life gets easier, but because they get stronger. They rise with discipline. They move with direction. They live with confidence. And it all begins not with what the world gives them, but with what they choose to give themselves before the world even wakes up. Don't let another morning slip away in chaos. Discipline is not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. If you can master the morning, you'll master your direction. And if you master your direction, no setback can keep you stuck. So tomorrow, don't just wake up. Rise with purpose. Build the life you want before the rest of the world even opens its eyes.